It's about that time of the night. You know who it is? So today, to gauge our growth, we're going to be learning about dirt and seeds. Last episode, the introduction, you would have seen that we had some problems. First of all, the light, and then the bulb blew. Really, in the last video, we learned about living, and that living is inextricably linked with contributing. And that contribution can either be good or bad. So if you're going to be saying that you're living the Christian life, then you need to obviously ask yourself, is your contribution good or bad? But it's nothing creepy, it's just the parable of the sower. Now, if you haven't heard of that before, it's not your fault. It's probably because you never read a Bible. So there was this guy named Jesus. I'll tell you more about him later. He's kind of a big deal, more than Christopher Martin. Some of you get that because you're outside more than in church. To the Christian world, he's basically like the president. And like any president, he sets recommendations and laws that are supposed to be leading us to more peaceful and respectable living. Of course, that's not what some of our presidents do nowadays. Oh, okay, right. Luke 8, 1-15. Now, I'll just put it up on the screen so that you can read it since you don't have a Bible.
Really?
A sower went out to sow his seeds. And as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trampled down, and the birds of the air devoured it. Some fell on rock, and as soon as it sprung up, it withered away because it lacked moisture. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up with it and choked it. But others fell on good ground, sprang up and yielded a crop 100-fold. When he said these things, he cried, "He who has ears, let him hear. Let him hear." Now, after his monologue, the disciples were like, "Bruh, what are you saying? We do not comprende." And Jesus was like, okay, look guys, the reason why I speak in story form is because I don't want them people to understand what I'm saying. But since y'all supposed to hear what I'm spouting, let me explain it. Now you can read it right there in Luke 11-15. What I give you right now is how you can actually measure your contribution, and you can know where you really are in this scale of how much am I really giving to Christianity? What am I really doing with myself? What am I doing with my life? And this is how. Now the word is the seed, and basically our souls or our lives is the ground. So we can measure whether our ground is good or bad by simply what happens to the seed after it is sprinkled on it, or when you hear the word. Now let's use the word as, for example, a pastor preaching a message. Have you ever been to church and the pastor has spoken? I mean, you weren't asleep or you weren't exactly distracted by other people or friends, but when you leave the church and you're about to go home, you have no clue about what the pastor was speaking about anymore. You can't remember what it was. Was he talking about John? Was he talking about Luke? Was he talking about alkaline? Sorry. You're portraying the symptoms of having a pathway kind of soul towards this specific message or word. So therefore, as soon as you heard it, it did not resonate with you, you didn't allow it to stay with you, the devil just came and whoop, like an eagle, flew with it. No contribution to Christianity at all. Now the second one, the rocky ground soul, basically. Same scenario, this individual went to the same church, they heard the message, they believed it, like, oh my gosh, pastor is saying I should not lie. I will not lie anymore. They believed it and they accepted it. Now, when they went to the workplace, the supervisor said, tell the customers we are out of milk, even though there's still milk on the shelves. And you say, no, I can't lie because my pastor said I should not lie. And the supervisor says, I will fire you if you tell them that there is milk. I'm sorry, ma'am, there's no milk on the shelves. I need this job. I need this job. There's no milk. That person just compromised. Even though they heard the word, they accepted the word, they did not water that soil with faith. Faith is like water there and it will cause the seed to grow. Just midway contribution. Now number 3. Big trio. Now this is the third individual. This person went to the same church, heard the same information. They accepted it. Yes, Jesus. Maybe they even went to another workplace and they fought for their rights. Supervisor, you can't fire me because I decide not to go against my morals. And the supervisor was like, oh wow, I should give you a bonus. Maybe that person survived. But the only problem is now internal struggle. They have 3 kids to feed and they have no idea of where they're going to get the money or any of that from. So even though the pastor said, don't lie, don't steal, keep your mind on God, God didn't come down and give me any money for the light bill today. You know what? I'm gonna go be a stripper. That person's contribution was a bit more remarkable. They stood up for their rights. They fought for the word of God, but they fell down because the thorns of life choked them. You get the idea. And last but not least, the good one. Now this is the individual that stood the test of time. They went to the same church, heard the same message, accepted it, went to the supervisor and stood up for their rights. And even when the thorns of life are squeezing against their throat, bills to pay, 3 kids, they still believed in God. And when He just puts His part in, the fruit that they produce blooms awesomely. That is the best contribution to Christianity anybody can ever give.